I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater's iOS Update. This time out, a new line of audio interfaces that are compatible with iOS devices and a companion software app that allows you to capture audio and transfer it easily into your computer. At Summer NAMM 2014, PreSonus introduced a new line of AudioBox audio interfaces. There's the AudioBox i1 and the AudioBox i2. Now these are compatible with Macintosh, with Windows PC, and with iOS devices. The AudioBox i1 features a microphone input, an instrument input, stereo lineouts, and a headphone output. It also has a switch that allows you to do direct monitoring so there's no latency when you're recording. What I have here today is the AudioBox i2, which is this box right here. It has two inputs that support microphone, instrument, or line level inputs, separate gain controls for each, global phantom power on-off. We've got an instrument level switch for each input, and instead of a switch, we have a mix control that allows us to dial in the amount of direct monitoring that we're doing to remove latency when we're recording. We've also got a master output level and a headphone level and headphone jack on the front panel. Around back, we have stereo outputs to feed your monitors or another stereo source, and we also have MIDI input and output. When you're using the AudioBox i1 or AudioBox i2 with your computer, it can be bus powered, so you don't need a power supply. When you're running it with your iOS device, you do have to power it, and you do that by actually connecting it to the charger from your iPad. So I've got a USB cable coming out of the back of the i2 that plugs into my charger for my iPad, and then there's also a 30-pin cable connected from the interface into my iPad. When you purchase an AudioBox i1 or an AudioBox i2, it comes with a free app called Capture Duo. Capture Duo is a simple recording program that allows you to track two different sources simultaneously, and you can overdub additional tracks in as well. If you need more recording capability than that, there's a full version of Capture also available on the App Store. That goes for less than $10, and it'll let you track up to 32 sources simultaneously. So let's take a look at Capture. Basically, Capture Duo and Capture look identical. When you open Capture or Capture Duo up, you're presented with this home screen. Now on this screen, you can load any sessions that you've created, you can create a new session, you can also check out your audio hardware. In this case, I'm connected to an AudioBox i2, and you can set the sample rate. It will record sample rates up to 96 kilohertz. Now I've already got a session started here, so we'll go ahead and open that up. It pops right open. And what I've done is I've recorded a drum machine in, just a basic drum beat onto two tracks, and then we'll overdub on top of that. Now if you're familiar with DAW software at all, this will look very familiar to you. We've got our tracks here. Each track has a mute, a solo button, a record button, and a monitoring button. We can also set the audio input that's feeding each track. In this case, I'm assigned to AudioBox i2's first input, and I've got the second track here assigned to AudioBox i2's second input. At the bottom, we have our transport controls. Over here, we have undo and redo. This is where we set up our tempo, our time signature, and our metronome options. This little icon up here shows us how much more recording time we have available inside our iPad. And then we've got a help screen, and the X will take us back to the home screen. We can also do very basic mixing inside of Capture and Capture Duo. Click the arrow, and we'll open that up. And basically, we have the level control at the top, and below that, you have the stereo pan control. Once you have some audio recorded into Capture or Capture Duo, you can do some very basic editing. If you double-click on a waveform, you can cut, you can copy, and then once you've copied, you can, of course, paste the audio back in. You can delete the audio, you can duplicate it, which allows you to chain together loop style, and then we can also split at the cursor if you need to edit something out. But it's just basic editing. To do anything more than that, you're going to want to transfer over to your computer, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second. Let's take a look at how easy it is to record using an AudioBox i2 and Capture running inside your iPad. I've got a Fender P-Bass here, and we'll route that straight into the first input in the AudioBox i2. And when we do that, we've got a level control here. We'll set it to instrument level. And we can see by the green LED what our level is. If we push that too far, we'll get into distortion, and we'll also see a red light begin to come on there. Looks like a nice, comfortable level. Now once we've got that set, we'll need to add a track over here. Simply click the plus button. A new track will be created. We can name that by double-clicking on the name. We'll call this bass and record arm the track. And the meter shows us that our signal is getting in. We'll want to set up a metronome, so we have a count off leading into our drum part. I've got my tempo set here to 70 beats per minute. We're in 4/4 time, and by clicking on the icon, we can turn on the metronome there. And at this point, we should be pretty much ready to go. Now I've got my mix control set to 50/50 here. That means that we'll be hearing the track coming back from the iPad, and we'll also be hearing the bass as it goes into the AudioBox i2. This prevents any delay. It means that there's no latency as we're tracking. So let's give this a try. Simply hit the record button. And once we've got our track recorded, we can of course play it back, we can adjust the level, we can pan it in stereo, and we can continue adding tracks on top of that. Take this out of record, we can double click to do simple editing as we talked about earlier. Now if you want to do more extensive mixing and more extensive editing, you can easily transfer this over to your computer in Studio One software. Let's take a look at how that works. Both the AudioBox i1 and AudioBox i2 come with a free version of PreSonus' Studio One DAW software for Mac and PC. I've got Studio One installed here in my Macintosh, and so we're basically ready to go. I've got an empty song loaded up. Now the one requirement is that both your iPad and your computer have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. Once they're on the same network and you're running Studio One version 2.6.3 or higher, you'll be all set to go. Transferring an entire session from inside of Capture into Studio One is very easy. We just click the transfer button. It'll ask you what computer you want to send to. Select that, and over here, the transfer will automatically start. Our 3 tracks are now completely loaded into Studio One. If we switch over and open up the mixer window, you can see that our panning and our level controls are also set the exact same as they were over in Capture. So the entire session, including all the audio contents, has been transferred directly over here. Now once you have the session transferred into Studio One, you can of course do full-on editing, you can do full mixing, you have all the plugins, all the capabilities that a full-featured DAW offers you. Now this is actually the easiest and the fastest way I've seen for transferring audio files between an iPad and a computer. All you have to do is be on the same Wi-Fi network, click the button, and as you saw, the files transfer over very quickly. The PreSonus AudioBox i1 and i2 make great choice for audio interfaces for your computer and your iPad. They have wonderful sounding preamps. Those are the award-winning Class A preamps that PreSonus developed. It has all the features that you need for quick tracking and quick capture. Now, of course, the Capture app will work with any audio interface you have connected to your iPad, or in fact, it'll work with a built-in microphone as well. But it really is a great partner when you're using the PreSonus AudioBox i1 or i2. Shows up right inside the software, and basically you're ready to record right out of the box. It's a lightweight interface, but it's very sturdy. You can toss it into your laptop bag, take it on location, then take it home, connect it to your computer when you're doing your editing in Studio One. Really is a nice system that's very efficient to use. I hope you've enjoyed this installment of Sweetwater's iOS Update. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll have more apps, more hardware accessories, and more tech tips on making music with iOS devices. I'm Mitch Gallagher.
Hey everybody, it's Phil with Behringer. How you doing today? Welcome to Music Studios. I want to talk to you today about the Yuphoria Umc 404 HD. Now this is an audiophile 4x4 24-bit 192 kHz USB audio MIDI interface with Midas mic preamplifiers. It's got some great features. Let's talk about them. Now this is a 4x4 USB 2.0 audio MIDI interface for recording microphones and instruments. This is going to be great in the studio because it's a great 4-in unit, so you can connect in 4 different microphones or instruments because it's on combo connectors, XLR and 1/4 inch, and be able to record stuff USB directly to your DAW. It's also going to be great on the road. You're on the road on the gig, you can slip this in your backpack and you can take it anywhere and be able to record in the hotel room or on a location anywhere. It's going to work great. For professional audio quality, this is an audiophile unit, okay? The bit depth is 24-bit, the sampling frequency is 192 kHz. It's going to sound amazingly clear and crisp on the highs and punchy on the lows. Now this unit is also compatible with all the usual suspects as DAWs. We're talking Pro Tools, Cubase, Logic, Ableton Live, Traction, all these kinds of software are going to work great with this seamlessly as an audio interface. Now this unit streams 4 channels of audio, 4 channels in and 4 channels out via USB. And it also has a MIDI port with ultra low latency, so that's going to be great. In addition, it's going to connect seamlessly with any Mac OS system or Windows XP or later. On the front panel, as you can see, you have 4 mic connectors. Now these connectors are going to the Midas mic pre's, the award-winning Midas mic pre's, so they're going to sound amazing. And also included is the capability to have 48 volts. You flip on the phantom power and you can use condenser microphones for things like overheads, vocals, and things of that nature. On the back panel are connectors for analog inserts, so in case you wanted to put a particular compressor or something in the signal path of a particular channel, you're free to do so. Now you have individual outputs for each channel on both 1/4-inch jacks and on RCA connectors. While you're recording, you do not have any problems with latency. It's a zero latency product. So when you're playing, there's not going to be any delay or anything between what you feel and what you hear, which is always great. Now there is an input and playback mix control, so you can dial yourself in against the track you're playing to. You want to hear a little bit more of you or a little bit more of the track, you can adjust either way. Now included is a powerful headphone output with its own level control and an A/B source switch so that you can do DJ style cueing and things of that nature. For a perfect overview of your signal path, there are status, signal, and clip indicators on every channel. Now you can connect to the outputs of the UMC 404 HD using either XLR connectors or balanced tip ring sleeve 1/4-inch connectors. Now when you register your product at Behringer.com, you're going to be able to download a free version of Traction audio software so you can get the unit, bring it home, and be recording right away. So this is the Yuphoria UMC 404 HD. For more information and media, you know you can come visit us at Behringer.com. Thanks for joining us here at Music Studios.
Presenting the TAC2R, Thunderbolt fast, creator driven. Housed in a robust metal chassis that makes it perfect for in-studio, on location, or on-stage use, the TAC2R offers the latest technology in a compact and feature-filled unit. 20 times faster than USB 2, and twice as fast as USB 3, Thunderbolt is the most advanced I/O technology ever. Developed by Intel Labs and Apple, it allows data to be transferred at an incredibly fast 10 gigabits per second, virtually instantaneous. Thunderbolt also carries 10 watts and 18 volts of bus power, which allows it to provide stable phantom power with no need for an AC cord. The 2-in, 2-out TAC2R works with Thunderbolt-equipped Macs and records up to 24-bit 192K audio. Dual front panel combo input jacks allow the connection of mic, instrument, or line-level signal. Independent gain controls for each input, along with clip LEDs, make it easy to set input levels. There's also a master output gain knob and an independent headphone jack with dedicated volume control for private monitoring. Balanced output jacks on the rear panel enable you to connect the TAC2R to your studio monitors. And there's a MIDI input and output for precise synchronization with sequencers and electronic keyboards. Thanks to the extreme speed and low latency of Thunderbolt, your audio and MIDI tracks will line up perfectly every time. The TAC2 Mix Effects application allows you to add high-quality effects such as reverb and echo, as well as low-cut filter and auto gain. It also allows you to set input and output levels, or switch phase. Whether you're on the road or in the studio, the TAC2R lets you take your audio creations to a whole new level. The Zoom TAC2R. Unrivaled speed, revolutionary recording. We're Zoom, and we're for creators.
With the UR242, Steinberg presents a high-quality yet mobile interface with 4 inputs and 2 outputs, Class A D pre-mic preamps, best-of-class sample rates at 192 kHz, a DSP suite for zero-latency monitoring with effects, and full connectivity with Apple's iPad, all housed in an ultra-sturdy metal case. And the UR242 also provides newcomers to digital audio with a gateway to professional music production in the form of the Cubase AI software and Basic Effects Suite plugins. In terms of audio quality, the UR242 stands out from the competition because of the brilliant AD conversion quality on every input and output afforded by its 24-bit 192 kHz fidelity. The front panel houses 2 combo connectors that accept both XLR and TRS. Each also features a gain control and peak LED, letting you manage all of your input levels quickly and effectively at all times. And if you're recording loud signals, both channels have a pad switch that dampens the input sensitivity. The two inputs on the front of the UR242 can handle a wide variety of signals, such as line inputs and microphones. And input 1 also features a selectable high-impedance input, allowing you to plug electric guitars and basses straight into the interface. Let's take a closer look at the mic preamps. The acclaimed D-Pre mic preamps are featured on high-end Yamaha and Steinberg studio equipment. They offer a rich, warm, yet incredibly detailed sound that's perfect for recording vocals, while offering the dynamic response and punch you need for recording high-gain sounds like electric guitars or snare drums. The UR242 gives you a phantom power option on both mic preamps, letting you connect both condenser and dynamic microphones as needed. The volume level of the main output is independent of the headphone level, with both having their own control on the front of the interface. This gives you the flexibility you need when recording and mixing to set your monitor levels as desired. And now for a look at the rear panel on the UR242. On the back, you'll find an additional pair of line-level inputs, perfect for hooking up an additional stereo instrument, like a keyboard or a synthesizer, or any other line-level gear for that matter. Both 4 dB or 10 dB gain levels are supported. Below these are two balanced line-level output connectors for feeding the signal to your monitor speakers. Next to the outputs is the MIDI I/O to hook up your controllers, synths, sound modules, or any other equipment that uses MIDI. The USB 2 port connects the UR242 to your computer. The drivers have been engineered to make them extremely stable, even at lowest latencies. And if you want to connect to your iPad, use the Apple iPad Camera Connection Kit or the Lightning to USB camera adapter. The interface is compatible with iPad audio apps, including Steinberg's much-acclaimed Cubasis music production app for iPad. And to supply the unit with enough power, hook up the included AC power adapter to the DC connector. UR242 includes Cubase AI, which runs on both Windows and Mac OS X, and there's an extra level of integration, because all aspects of I/O handling and DSP management are handled directly from within Cubase. As soon as the UR242 interface is installed, Cubase automatically detects it and embeds it into your production environment. Compatible with all major DAWs, the DSP Mix Effects application lets you access all the DSP features like routing, mixing, and latency-free monitoring with effects. If you're running Cubase, all this functionality is available in Cubase directly. This includes controls for the phase reverse and low cut on inputs 1 and 2, level selector for input 3 and 4, and much more. Now here's where the UR242 really comes into its own. It features a dedicated DSP chip that runs the included effect plugins. These comprise the Sweet Spot Morphing Channel Strip with its unique combination of compression and EQ, the RevX Reverb with its 3 different reverb modes, and the Guitar Amp Classics plugin, which includes some very nice simulations of some of the world's best analog amps. And all these plugins are also available in the basic effects suite as VST3 versions, making them available for you when mixing, providing a lot of functionality and amazing sounds. The UR242 is the ideal choice if you're looking for a mobile interface with great build quality, remarkable sound, and zero latency monitoring with DSP. This is portable professional audio technology with features and quality at a price point that's still eminently affordable.
Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater's Soundcheck. This time out, the latest generation of Focusrite's super popular Scarlett USB audio interfaces for Mac and PC. Today we're checking out the Scarlett family of audio interfaces from Focusrite. Now this is generation 3 of the Scarlett audio interfaces, and they've been super popular ever since they were introduced. With generation 3, Focusrite has upgraded the quality and made them better than ever. Today we'll be focusing on two members of the Scarlett family, the iTwo here to my right and the Solo to my left. Depending on how many inputs and outputs you need from your audio interface, there are other members in the Scarlett family that may work well for you, and we'll talk about those later in this video. The Scarlett iTwo and the Scarlett Solo are available as standalone audio interfaces. You just purchase the audio interface and it comes with a USB cable. Both of these interfaces are bus powered from your computer, so you don't need a separate power supply. And both the Solo and the 2i2 are also available in studio bundles, which includes a condenser microphone, headphones, even a microphone cable. Everything you need to get started, basically, except for a mic stand. The Scarlett 2i2 is a 2-in, 2-out audio interface, connects to your computer by USB 2.0. Both inputs from the Scarlett 2i2 can accept microphone level signals, balanced line level signals, or instrument level signals from guitar and bass. The Scarletts have always featured great sounding preamps, but in Generation 3, these are even better sounding, and they've been enhanced with Focusrite's proprietary air function, which adds a nice brightness, a nice openness to the tone. It sounds like you're going through a great analog preamp. 48-volt phantom power is available from the front panel, so you can use your condenser microphones with these interfaces, as well as dynamic microphones and ribbon microphones if you choose. For tracking and overdubbing, we've got flexible direct monitoring built into the Scarlett family of audio interfaces. This allows you to monitor what you're recording along with your backing tracks with no latency problems and no delays at all. It's very simple. These are very plug-and-play audio interfaces. We have a front panel headphone jack, and that has its own dedicated volume control in the Scarlett 2i2 interface. On the back panel, we have our USB connection for hooking up to the computer, as well as stereo outputs. And with the third generation of Scarlett audio interfaces, these have been upgraded to balanced quarter-inch connections, which makes them compatible with a wide range of studio monitors. The Scarlett Solo has one microphone input with the exact same design as what's found in the Scarlett 2i2 and the rest of the range. It has that air function for that nice open top end, and we also have an instrument level input as well. We have the same stereo balanced outputs on the back panel, a dedicated front panel headphone jack, and we also have direct monitoring for ultra-low latency when you're tracking. Installing the Scarlett audio interfaces couldn't be easier. With the new interfaces, when you connect via USB to your computer, you'll automatically see an icon appear on your desktop. Double-click that, a folder opens, and you can click here to go directly to the Focusrite website to download any software that you might need. Speaking of software, Focusrite has included an incredible bundle of software along with Scarlett audio interfaces. You get Ableton Live Lite and Pro Tools' first Creative Collection. Those will both get you started right out of the box. You'll receive a 3-month subscription to Splice Sound, as well as Focusrite's Red 2 and Red 3 plugin suite. One of 4 Addictive Keys virtual instruments is included. You get to choose which one you'd like along with your bundle. For processing, Softube's Time and Tone collection is also included, as well as access to Focusrite's plugin collective. As I mentioned, the Scarlett Solo and the Scarlett 2i2 audio interfaces are available standalone or as part of studio bundles. The studio bundle includes the interface, a condenser microphone. In this case, we have the CM25 Mark III, which is a large diaphragm condenser microphone, cardioid pattern, great for vocals as well as a wide range of different instruments. For monitoring, HP60 Mark III headphones are included, and you even get a microphone cable. This is a 10-foot microphone cable, perfect for hooking up the CM25 Mark III. So with the Scarlett Solo and the Scarlett 2i2, things couldn't be easier. That software bundle will immediately get started with software to run on your computer to get your recording and making music. The microphone, headphones, and cables will ensure that you're ready to go right out of the box. So let's take a look at how easy it is to record a track using the Scarlett 2i2 and the Studio Bundle. To record using the Scarlett Studio Bundle takes just a couple of steps. First of all, I connected my microphone to input number 1 on the interface using the included microphone cable. I turned on 48-volt phantom power because this is a condenser mic, so it does require phantom power to work. I engaged the air function on the preamp because I like that nice open top end that it provides. At that point, all we need to do is adjust our input level here, and you can see we have the halo that surrounds the input knob, and that changes color depending on our input signal. We want that to be a nice green color. Test. 1, 2, 3, 4. For monitoring, I have my headphones. They're connected to the front panel. I've got my level control here. And I engage direct monitoring. Now, direct monitoring means that we're listening to the microphone straight through the interface and into the headphones. There's no delay, no latency problems there at all. Super simple. The interface connects to your computer by USB, and in the case of the Macintosh, we don't even need to install a driver. It just shows right up as an input and output option. I've created a track, record armed it, and when I press record and play, I'm ready to record.
Test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's really all it takes to record a track using one of these interfaces in the Studio Bundle. Very simple, the microphone sounds great, couldn't be easier. There actually are 6 members in the Scarlett audio interface family, and you can choose the one that you need by the number of inputs and outputs that it provides. We've got the Solo with 1 microphone input and 1 instrument input. We've got the 2i2 with 2 microphone, line, or instrument level inputs. If you need more inputs than the Solo or the 2i2 provide, there's also the 4i4, the 8i6, the 18i8, and the 1820 for large sessions. If you're looking to record great sounding tracks with a versatile but simple to use audio interface that comes in at a great price, you're definitely going to want to check out the Scarlett Generation 3 audio interfaces from Focusrite. These USB interfaces sound incredible, they offer the versatility that you need for a wide range of different signals, and they couldn't be easier to use. Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater Soundcheck. This time out, a compact, affordable, yet premium quality audio interface from Audient. Let's get started. Today we're checking out the ID4, a compact portable audio interface for Mac, Windows, and iOS devices from Audient. Now the ID family is well known for their excellent Class A microphone preamps, and the ID4 brings a single channel of input and stereo outputs along with some really nice extended features. Let's take a quick tour. First off, the ID4 is a USB 2.0 device. It'll connect to any Macintosh or PC or to an iOS device using a camera connection kit. Now when you do connect it to a camera connection kit, you have to use a powered USB hub because the ID4 is bus powered. It draws its power from whatever device it's connected to and does not have a separate power supply. With a Mac or a PC, you can connect directly to the device and it'll power up just fine. We have a single channel of input, and that can be either microphone or line here on top, or on the front panel we have a 1/4-inch connection for DI input. And each of those has its own gain control and displays separately on the level meters. We have 48-volt phantom power available for connecting condenser microphones. That's switchable here on the back, and there's an indicator light here on the front. Both the microphone level input and the DI input have 58 dB of gain on tap, and those are adjustable using two knobs here on the front panel. Latency-free monitoring is available using this monitor mix control here in the center. All the way to the left, we're getting just the input. Turn it all the way to the right, and you're getting just signal back from your DAW. By blending this in the middle, you can mix your incoming signal along with the playback coming from your DAW and have latency-free monitoring for overdubbing. The monitor mix control also offers a secondary feature. When you turn the knob to the left into the white zone here, it converts our level meters here at the top into input level. So now as we adjust the level on our microphone, you'll see that reading out on our LED display. Check. 1, 2, test. 1, 2, test. 1, 2. The microphone input reads on the top row of LEDs, while the direct input reads on the bottom row of LEDs.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
The front panel also features a master level control, and that controls both the stereo monitor outputs here on the back, as well as the headphone output on the front. We have both 1/8-inch and 1/4-inch connectors for headphones. If we push the volume control, we dim the monitors, so if you need to answer the telephone or talk over the music, you can do that easily by simply dimming them. Push again to go back to regular level operation. The mute switch mutes our monitor outputs. One nice feature is as we turn the monitor level control, you can see the setting indicated here at the top. And it'll revert back to a level control then when we're finished. But as you turn that, you do get a visual readout of where the volume control is set. The main knob also doubles as a pan control when we hold the mute switch and the ID switch together. Now that pan control is adjusting the panning on the incoming signal in our monitor mix here. So this allows you to have a stereo mix playing from your computer and then pan your input wherever you like in the stereo field for the best monitoring. A great feature of the ID4 is that you can actually control a single parameter inside your plugins or certain DAW functions using the volume control. Let me show you how that works. Let's open up an EQ here in Pro Tools. Now when we hover the mouse over any of the controls, push the ID button, we can turn the volume control and it'll automatically adjust that for us. so it maps to whatever we're hovering over. And this works in most plugins within Pro Tools and other DAWs. There are other functions that can also be controlled. Which ones are available depends on the particular DAW that you're using. If you're looking for a compact, lightweight audio interface that offers you a single channel of input, stereo output, headphone monitoring, and extended features, the ID4 is a great choice. It's so tiny you can throw it in your computer bag, take it on the go for portable recording, but then bring it back to your studio, and it makes a great device for monitoring and working in your DAW there as well. Like all the Audient ID audio interfaces, the ID4 sounds incredible. It has that classic Audient Class A microphone preamp, which sounds great, 58 dB of gain, plenty of dynamics there, lots of detail, and we also have those monitor control functions. It's a full-featured box in a small package at a great price. Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Today we're checking out Generation 3 of Focusrite's very popular Scarlett family of audio interfaces. Let's get started. There are 6 different audio interfaces in the Scarlett family, and they share some common features. The Scarlett family connect to your Mac or your PC using USB 2.0. They feature audio resolution up to 24-bit and 192 kHz, and they feature enhanced microphone preamps. Now the preamps in the Scarlett range have always been extremely popular. They're very detailed, they're very accurate, they're nice neutral sounding preamps. And with this generation, those preamps are even better. Plus, Focusrite has added their Air feature to all of these audio interfaces. Air allows you to simulate the effect of running through a great audio transformer. It really opens up the top end, gives you even more clarity and detail in the top. All of the Scarlett audio interfaces include a wide range of bundled software. Focusrite includes the Pro Tools First Creative Pack as well as Ableton Live Lite, so you've got 2 DAWs to choose from. They also include the Focusrite Red 2 and Red 3 plugin suite, as well as the Softtube Time and Tone bundle. You can choose one of 4 of XLN Audio's very popular Addictive Keys instruments, and you also have access to the Focusrite plugin collective. Now let's take a look at the 6 members of the Gen 3 Scarlett family. We'll begin with the one here on top, which is the Solo. Solo is a 2-in, 2-out audio interface, features 1 microphone preamp, 1 instrument preamp, a headphone output, stereo monitor outs on the back on PRS balanced 1/4-inch connections, as well as direct monitoring, so you have no problems with latency when you're overdubbing. The Solo audio interface can be bus powered from your Mac or PC, and it's also available in the Solo Studio Recording Bundle, which you see here to my right. The Studio Recording Bundle includes the CM25 Mark III, which is a large diaphragm cardioid condenser microphone. We also have the HP60 Mark III headphones and a 10-foot microphone cable, along with a mic clip. Next up, we have the Scarlett 2i2 Generation 3 audio interface. This is a 2-input, 2-output audio interface. We have connections for 2 line-level inputs, 2 microphone inputs, as well as 2 instrument inputs, and you can use any 2 of those simultaneously. We have stereo monitor outputs on the back, headphone outputs on the front, and the direct monitoring feature as well. The 2i2 can be bus powered, and like the Solo, it's available in the 2i2 Studio Recording Bundle. The Scarlett 4i4 here in the center offers 4 simultaneous inputs and 4 simultaneous outputs. We have 2 balanced line inputs, 2 microphone inputs, and 2 instrument level inputs. We also have 4 line outputs, MIDI I/O, headphone connections on the front panel, and like the 2i2 and the Solo, this can be bus powered. If you need to connect more line-level instruments, for example synthesizers or drum machines, you might want to check out the Scarlett 8i6. The Scarlett 8i6 offers 8 inputs and 6 outputs. We have 6 balanced line-level inputs, we have 2 microphone-level inputs, and 2 instrument-level inputs as well. The Scarlett 8i6 offers 4 line-level outputs, MIDI I/O, SPDIF stereo digital I/O, and dual headphone outputs on the front panel. For larger sessions, you want to check out the next member of the Scarlett family. This is the Scarlett 18i8. We have 18 simultaneous inputs and 8 simultaneous outputs. You can route signals into the 8i6 using 8 balanced line level inputs, 4 microphone preamps, dual instrument level preamps, as well as an 8-channel ADAT digital input. We have dual headphone outputs on the front panel, dual monitor outputs on the back panel, SPDIF stereo digital I/O, and MIDI I/O. And last but certainly not least, we have the largest Scarlett audio interface, the Scarlett 18i20. This offers 18 simultaneous inputs and 20 simultaneous outputs. The 18i20 offers 8 microphone preamps, dual instrument level inputs, as well as 6 balanced line level inputs. We have 16 channels of optical input via ADAT I/O, as well as stereo digital input and output on SPDIF format. The 18i20 also offers MIDI I/O, as well as a word clock output for synchronizing your various digital devices. We have dual headphone outputs on the front panel, as well as dual monitor outputs on the back. To make recording intuitive and very easy, all of the Scarlett audio interfaces feature great metering that allows you to instantly see the levels that are coming into the interface. On the first 5, we have gain halos that surround the gain controls. On the 18i20, we have LED meters on the front panel. From the Solo to the 18i20, one of these 6 audio interfaces is perfect as a centerpiece for your recording system. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of the new Scarlett Generation 3 audio interfaces from Focusrite. If you have questions on these or any other products, visit Sweetwater.com or contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. I'm Mitch Gallagher. Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. At Winter NAMM 2020, SSL made a big announcement. They've released 2 USB audio interfaces, the SSL2 and the SSL2 Plus. For complete information on these interfaces and all of SSL's products, visit Sweetwater.com. SSL utilized more than 40 years of experience designing premium audio products when they went to the drawing board to create the SSL2 and the SSL2 Plus. The SSL2 is a 2-in, 2-out USB audio interface. The SSL2 Plus is a 2-in, 4-out audio interface that also adds MIDI I/O. Both interfaces feature SSL's analog preamp designs. They can accept line level, instrument level, and of course microphone level signals as well. Now they very carefully designed these interfaces and the preamps to have exceedingly fine specs. On the preamps, we have greater than 130 dB EIN or equivalent input noise, and more than 62 dB of gain. This is very high gain for a built-in mic preamp in an audio interface. In terms of frequency response, with line and instrument level inputs, these audio interfaces are basically ruler flat, within 0.05 dB from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. And with mic level signals, we're coming in with a frequency response also basically ruler flat, within 1/10 of a dB from 20 to 20K. Dynamic range is also class leading with these audio interfaces. Input dynamic range clocks in at 110.5 dB, while monitor output dynamic range comes in at 112 dB. These are excellent specs for an audio interface. But beyond specs, the great thing about the SSL interfaces is how easy they are to use. Both of them feature 2 input channels, and those are again based on SSL's analog designs. We have 48-volt phantom power for condenser microphones and active ribbon microphones, and we can select among microphone, line level, and high Z or instrument level inputs. We have an LED bar meter and a gain control. Completing the channel, we have a switch for engaging legacy 4K mode. And what this does is impart the tonality of an original SL4000 console to our input channels. It adds a lift on the top end, as well as subtle harmonic distortion that really brings a signal to life, and we'll listen to that in just a second. On the output side, of course, we have a monitor level control. It's a nice large control, so very easy to grab when you're in session. We have a monitor mix that allows us to create latency-free monitoring when we're overdubbing. So we can range from listening to what's coming back from your DAW to any blend with what's coming in your input channels. The stereo switch allows you to use the 2 input channels for left and right. Finally, on the front panel, we have the headphone control. Now on the SSL2, we have a single headphone output, so we have just one control. On the SSL2 Plus, we have dual headphone outputs, and those can access independent monitoring paths. We have controls for each of those right here on the front panel. Let's check out the effect of this legacy 4K mode on incoming microphone level signals. I've got a Shure Beta 58A dynamic microphone connected, and we'll listen first to the dry signal, then we'll engage the 4K mode.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
You can hear with this mode that we're getting a nice lift on the top end. Really helps your signals to jump out of the speakers and gives them a nice presence. The back panel of the SSL2 is very clean. We have 2 combi jacks for instrument, line, and mic level signals. And we have 2 balanced 1/4-inch outputs for our monitor output or our main output. Rounding out the back panel is a USB-C jack for connecting to your Mac or PC. The interfaces come with 2 cables, one that goes from USB-C to USB-C and the other one from USB-A to USB-C, so it's compatible with a wide range of computers. When we moved to the SSL2 Plus, we had 2 additional outputs, outputs 3 and 4, and these are on RCA jacks, so they're very easy to connect to DJ mixers. If you're doing podcasts, working with consumer audio gear, whatever you may be connecting, it's easy to connect those RCAs in an unbalanced signal path. The back panel of the SSL2 Plus also includes MIDI in and out for interfacing with external MIDI hardware. As I mentioned, the SSL2 and the SSL2 Plus are both compatible with Mac and PC. On the Mac, no drivers required. We're class compliant, and a driver is readily available to be downloaded from the SSL website for use with Windows computers. To get you started right out of the box, the SSL interfaces also include the Ssl Production Pack. This consists of DAWs, plugins, audio material, loops, a wide variety of things to get you started. We've got Avid's Pro Tools First DAW, Bomb Factory's BF76, BF2A, and BF3A emulations of vintage compressors. We've got more than 1.5 gigs of loops, Ableton Live Lite, as well as 2 instruments that give us more than 2,000 different sampled and synthesized sounds. But I think you're really going to enjoy putting 2 plugins from SSL to work. Vocal Strip 2 and Drum Strip are included with the SSL2 and SSL2 Plus, and these are optimized for those 2 different signal types, vocals and drums. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the SSL2 and the SSL2 Plus, the first USB audio interfaces from SSL. This is a big step forward for the company, and they've brought all of their experience to bear to create incredible sounding, but super easy to use audio interfaces. I love the desktop format, they sound incredible, and they're super easy to operate. Definitely give these a look. Thanks for joining me for this look at the SSL2 and SSL2 Plus USB audio interfaces. I've had a lot of fun checking these out, and they're definitely a big announcement from SSL at Winter NAMM 2020.